I'm not complaining or making, just it happened that way.
Yeah.
It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Even here.
Yeah, that fire never dies, man.
My right hand is complete.
Manny Pacquiao's reignited one of boxing's greatest feuds, this time with a purpose. In a recent sit-down interview, the Filipino legend didn't merely speak of his 2015 bout against Floyd Mayweather. He made something clear. He wishes to do it again, but don't get it twisted. Manny isn't seeking another exhibition. He's calling for an actual fight with actual repercussions.
I want you guys to go check out Manny Pacquiao. Remember, he got famous because they said this could be the guy that could possibly dethrone the king. Did it happen? Absolutely not. Was he easy? Absolutely.
He wasn't easy.
Okay, so 10 rounds to 2 ain't easy?
In a recent interview, Manny Pacquiao didn't hesitate to stir the pot. When queried about a possible rematch with Floyd Mayweather, Pacquiao conceded he'd definitively be on board. The answer came automatically, and while he remained courteous, his tone was unmistakable. Unfinished business still hangs between the two legends. Years later, with fans still divided regarding their first match, Pacquiao's willingness to get back in the ring was all the fire needed to spark the boxing universe.
I'm not complaining or making, just it happened that way.
Yeah.
It happened to me many times.
Did you want a rematch with Floyd?
I'm still active. It's up to him if he's going to fight.
You would even fight him today?
Even here.
Oh my goodness.
Even here.
Yeah, that fire never dies, man.
My right hand is complete.
The rumor only grew louder when Pacquiao appeared on the P4P podcast alongside Kamaru Usman, where he doubled down on his position. He made clear that he wasn't suggesting a watered-down exhibition, but an official sanctioned bout. "I want a real fight," Manny declared, with the certainty of someone who still thinks he can rewrite the ending of a very long book. He made clear that an exhibition would not decide anything. He wants the stakes high, gloves wrapped tight, and the judges observing.
There was just talks and rumors all the time about potentially Manny Pacquiao and the Mayweather 2. Was there any truth to that, or is that still kind of up in the air of maybe potentially happening?
It's up to him. If he come out to retirement, we'll have a Mayweather Pacquiao too.
Would you do an exhibition with him, or would you potentially entertain an exhibition with someone like maybe a Conor McGregor?
No, I don't like exhibition. If Mayweather my opponent, I don't like exhibition. Like, I want a fight. Like, there's a decision.
This isn't about legacy though, it's personal. Manny didn't shy away from saying beyond the professional animosity, he just doesn't like Floyd on a personal level. He cited how Mayweather presents himself, the way he speaks, and the ego that has accompanied him his entire career. To Manny, this isn't just another checker belt. This is about pride, principles, and projecting something that still bothers him a decade after their first bout.
Now, in the beginning of this conversation, you say, I don't like boastful people. How was it like fighting Mayweather then? Did he get on your nerves? Because I feel like he's a little bit more boastful than the people you might be wanting to hang out with.
Yeah, it's boastful. I think his God is the material things, money, everything like that. I'm pretty with him because I want to share the word of God in him if he believe God.
Yeah. I've heard he's a generous man. I think he's done good things. I think, he kind of reminds me of like a lot of people are like this, by the way, including myself. I'm not just saying him. I'm including myself. The man who goes up to Jesus and says, "What should I do to get into heaven?" He says, "Sell all your belongings." And he walked away crying because he couldn't sell his belongings.
Exactly.
Of course, this simmering, long-standing feud will always fuel talk of a rematch, and Joe Rogan was quick to chime in. When he appeared on his podcast, Rogan indicated he'd love for them to run it back, especially given all the circumstances of the original fight. From Manny's shoulder issue to the deliberate, tactical nature of the fight itself, Joe contended that fans were deprived of an actual showdown between two all-time greats in their primes. A rematch, even on their present age, could potentially provide that payoff.
Some great fights never take place, or they take place too late, like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. They fought too late. I mean, if that fight could have been arranged by Riyadh Season, they probably would have fought them both in their prime, and it would have been chaos.
Yeah, he was dying before that.
Yeah, and he also had a blown shoulder going into the fight.
Yeah.
He needed shoulder surgery before the fight even started.
Oscar De La Hoya concurred, telling the press in recent times he concurred that the initial bout had too numerous extraneous factors to be fairly judged. Chief chiefly their age. Manny was evidently restricted by injury, and Floyd, being technically proficient, took a conservative approach. Oscar cited the fact that now both fighters are retirees and far from the championship circle that the equation could be entirely different. No politics, no pressure. Two legends calling each other's bluffs.
Pacquiao, Mayweather. What would have been different had they fought, let's just say 5 years earlier? Because everybody believed they wanted that fight. We had been clamoring for that fight 5, 10 years. Had they fought 5 years earlier, is the outcome any different?
Let's just say it would have probably been a controversial decision.
Okay.
You know, like a closer fight. But I still think that Floyd probably would have pulled it off. I really do think so. Pacquiao at the time when he was coming up, when I fought him, he was literally a Pac-Man.
Right.
He was just chomping at me like there's no tomorrow.
Right.
He wouldn't stop. He wouldn't stop throwing punches. That Pacquiao probably gives Mayweather a better fight. Yeah. I don't know if he wins, but he gives him a better fight.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you feel this fight happened a couple years?
A little too late, you know?
Roy Jones Jr. also stepped into the conversation, backing Oscar De La Hoya's stance and going even further. The former pound-for-pound king criticized Floyd Mayweather for claiming full credit for the win against Manny Pacquiao, pointing out that the fight took place when Manny was already past his physical prime. Roy argued that while Floyd technically got the victory, beating a diminished version of Pacquiao doesn't tell the whole story. In his eyes, Floyd capitalized on timing, not greatness, and that win shouldn't be held as definitive.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got kids, because that's not the same Pacquiao. Of course, that's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game. But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever. When how it go? That's not reality.
Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and ex-trainer, was surprisingly optimistic about Manny's prospects. He confessed that Pacquiao still has top-shelf speed, which hasn't diminished despite his age. According to Jeff, the combination of speed and Manny's non-stop work rate could still become issues for Floyd. A statement such as that coming from a Mayweather himself made heads turn, particularly given how tight-fisted the family has been when it comes to protecting Floyd's reputation.
Yeah, but Saturday night we got Manny Pacquiao stepping back in the ring at the late 40s. You know, Father Time seems to be undefeated, but what are your chances on giving Manny Pacquiao, being a great fighter as he is, to stepping up and fighting a world champion like young Barrios?
I think that Manny has a chance. I mean, I think he has, especially if he hasn't lost his speed. If he hasn't lost his speed, he's definitely going to have a chance of hitting Barrios. If Tank could hit him, and I don't think Tank is nowhere near fast as Pacquiao was, but if he's still got his speed, he's going to land some shots, some big shots. But I don't know what kind of power he has at his age now. So I mean, it's going to be interesting.
On Floyd's part, he remained respectful, though only for a short while. Looking back on their 2015 fight, Mayweather admitted Pacquiao was not an easy foe. He confessed Manny gave him trouble, especially with his angles and timing. It was a moment of humility from Floyd, one that hinted that he realized Pacquiao introduced legitimate danger into the ring that evening, even if the outcome did not dictate it on the scorecards.
At any point, did a fighter ever make you feel like, oh, our legacy is in jeopardy?
No, but I've been in a fight. I get like in the third or fourth round, like, tonight gonna be a rough night. Okay. One of the best fighters I faced was Manny Pacquiao. He's a future Hall of Fame.
It isn't about Manny, man. He just don't stop coming.
But you know me, I keep my distance because he's real short. Past this, I keep turning him.
Yeah, but I think this, height doesn't mean anything because, short people kick back a punch.
But in typical Mayweather style, the respect was fleeting. In a subsequent interview, Floyd tossed veiled shade, stating Pacquiao ran from him in the first fight. The jab didn't fly under the radar and only added to the rumor that Floyd's pride is sharper than ever. Whether by design or genuine conviction, it demonstrated old habits and old vendettas die hard.
Pacquiao obviously got power also.
Right.
You know, I've been in there with him. He did feel his problem. He's solid. He's solid. He's solid. Ain't nothing I ain't never felt before, but he got a solid. Right. And he felt me too. That's why he wasn't quick to run in there. Right. So it out them both. We felt each other. At the end of the day, you know, it finally happened. He got cooked. Now they begging for a rematch. My thing is this: if you get it done right the first time, you got to do it again.
And if people wanted to know why Pacquiao doesn't think much of Mayweather, Floyd provided another reason. In another aside, he called Manny an easy fight, trivializing the heat and competitiveness of their initial encounter. For Pacquiao and his dedicated following, the words stung like salt on a wound. The animosity between the two men isn't a sham. It's genuine, and it still burns.
I want you guys to go check out Manny Pacquiao. Remember, he got famous because they said this could be the guy that could possibly dethrone the king. Did it happen? Absolutely not. Was he easy? Absolutely.
He wasn't easy.
Okay, so 10 rounds to 2 ain't easy?
Even Max Kellerman, a veteran boxing analyst, weighed in and didn't hesitate. He contended that Pacquiao's resume, openness to fighting anyone, and championship triumph in numerous divisions make him greater than Floyd ever was. Kellerman cited that whereas Mayweather remained unbeaten, Manny risked everything that Floyd would not. In Max's opinion, Pacquiao's fighting spirit and willingness to risk it all put him above the man who outboxed him on paper, but never really cracked him in the ring.
Manny Pacquiao is a better pound-for-pound fighter than Floyd Mayweather. I actually disagreed with you. I'm surprised that boxing fans, unless you're caping for a guy, this is pretty straightforward. Pacquiao wasn't able to make flyweight. He was a flyweight who won the lineal championship. So if that's not the most, or one of the 2 or 3 most impressive things in the history of boxing, the fact that he could move up, give me an example of another flyweight who was the lineal champion, moved up, won a bunch of titles in between, and then was that good as a welterweight. Pacquiao won lineal titles, indisputable, that's the man who beat the man, or else putting belts together. No one had ever done it before, ever. No one ever came close to dreaming about doing that, and then Pacquiao did it. So the fact that Pacquiao is even competitive with Floyd Mayweather, who's one of the greatest pure boxers ever, do any of us believe that if they were the same size naturally, Floyd would beat Pacquiao?
Here we are once more. 2 names, 1 rivalry, a decade of unfinished business. Manny demands a true fight. Floyd's throwing low-key shade. And the boxing world, already divided right down the middle. If these legends do face off again, will history repeat or be remade? Hit that subscribe button for all the latest on this oncoming tempest, because if this rematch does go down, it won't be a fight, it'll be a legacy showdown.